Hello and welcome back to session 2 of Tales of the Ranger. We're playing Scum and Villainy on the Gauntlet again tonight, and I've got 3 returning players from last time. Unfortunately, Alejandro has had some personal commitments come up. Some idiot didn't realise when they were planning this that today is Mother's Day in North America, so more the fool me. But we do have 3 returning players. We have Einar, Eli, and Walter. And we'll be picking up right where we left off last time. But before we do that, I'm just going to go through a quick overview of the safety tools, which I'm sure you're all aware of. So we are going to be using the X card in the game tonight. We talked about some lines and veils last time. With the X card, if problematic material does come up, yeah, you can say X. You'd say I'd like to X that, or put an X in the chat, or do a cross on screen, or whatever you want to get my attention. We'll pause the game at that point. I'll ask for some clarification on what the problematic material is. Importantly, I won't ask you to justify it. But at that point, we restage the scene and move forward without that problematic material. So with that said, I'm going to ask Einar, what happened last time?
Last time, we went in search of a star map, a stolen star map, and we went to a sort of bug people hotel and captured one suspect who it turns out had already sold the star map to another person. So then we went in search of that other person and found them in a back room of a cantina.
Excellent. So you've broken into the office. You subdued the guy with the star map. He's someone wearing an encounter suit externally, but when he takes it off, he has these creepy mechanical eyes. Now, you've got him restrained. Walter, I understand you had something that you wanted to do at this point.
Yeah, so we've got this fellow, and I think our plan was just to get the star map and then probably leave both this fellow and the other one that brought us here behind.
Because the other fellow is actually in your brig at the moment on your ship, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. He's on our brig. Well, I guess he stole the star map, so technically we could turn him in for the bounty, I suppose. But I think we decided that it's more valuable to just keep the star map. But this fellow, I'm guessing that we're going to leave him here, just because I don't think we're really in the kidnapping. Well, we are. I guess technically we are kind of in the kidnapping business. We're bounty hunters, aren't we? But as far as I can tell, he was just a person who's like buying and selling hot goods. He's not like necessarily a thief in his own right. So
No.
what does everybody else think? Do we just want to leave this fellow here?
Yeah, I don't think we really need him. There's nothing. I don't see a whole lot of money in taking him, and it's just more problems.
Yeah, I don't know what we do with him. So, yeah, okay. So, but this is what I wanted to add is so kind of like leaving him tied up or whatever. I did want to leave like a calling card, and it's so Cord in my character, Cord is he's a bit of a narcissist and he's a hacker and he really wants to have a reputation for himself. So he's got like a sort of a his hacker identity, which is elbows, and he's got like I don't know, he's got some kind of like a little like business card kind of thing that he has printed up, right? That has like some symbol on it, and he just wants to like leave that behind, as like not necessarily not to make it easy to identify him per se, but just so that things can, just so that this can be like linked to his secret persona's alter ego, right?
Okay, yeah, that is absolutely fine. So you take out this business card and you put it down on the desk, or what do you do?
Yeah, I just put it right down on the desk, and I think I even like put a like happy face on it and write like, you know, have a nice day.
Excellent. So you leave this guy there. You've got the star map. You head back to your ship. What are you doing with Lancel?
Not sure. Do we have another vector to make money out of Lancel? Because I think the bounty is just for the star map itself.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
So right now we have the star map and we have the payment that Lancel got from the star map, -1.
Yeah, I think Lancel's had enough of a bad day. I think it's probably. I would feel fine just like letting Lancel go and just telling him, we know you're not going to tell the authorities because because you're the one who stole this to begin with. So you know, thanks for your time. Sorry for shooting up your place. Actually, it was just the hotel. It wasn't even his place.
Okay. So that all goes down. He's gutters away. You can hear that he's swearing, and he's got this look on his face, like he's broken. He doesn't know what to do, and he disappears off into the throng of people that surround the spaceport.
I suppose we could question him before we let him go. He might have some kind of useful information. Did we talk to him at all? I think we just threatened him to find out like where that guy was.
That's right. Do you guys want to talk to him?
I mean, he might know something interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of when you play the game, there's winners and losers, and I think we won today.
I think so. I mean, maybe we could get out of him like what his contacts are within the Star Guild. But on the other hand, maybe the less he knows about us, the better, right? Like maybe we should just drop him off and you know, just leave it at that. Hopefully he'll be happy for his freedom and he won't cause any more trouble for us.
Don't think any one of us was in the mood for an interrogation anyway.
Yeah, I feel like it's party time.
Okay, excellent. So we'll move to the payoff stage and of the job. So, are you handing the star map over?
I'd rather like find out what it is first. Maybe check with our contacts about what it is, or maybe I can even try and hack it myself.
Yeah, I mean, Kid doesn't care too much. I mean, I'm sure it's fancy, but it's also worth 6 cred, so could just
at least 6 cred, right? I mean, who knows?
Okay. So, who are you going to? How are you trying to get that information?
Well, let's see. I mean, first of all, we're Kit is a pilot, right?
Yep.
Kit, do you think you would have like some sense of like what's valuable in star maps?
I mean, they help you go places.
Yeah,
it's not really into the big, super knowledgeable. It's more just like a hot shot, fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl. But I could maybe ask some friends, and they might know.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Do you have any friends that you want to go to?
I've got my friend who's also in the ship business, Triv, a ship mechanic, and they might have some other ideas about what we could do with the star map.
Okay. So describe Triv to me. What are they like?
Let's see. Triv is pretty squat. pretty squat man. He's got like long hair that's braided and has pretty heavy tattoos kind of all over their body.
Are we thinking space dwarf here, the sort of thing, or?
Sure, but I think that they are human because we have had quite a few Xenos
Okay.
so far.
So, he's a ship mechanic. Does he work at a repair shop? Does he actually work aboard a ship?
Yeah, I think that he runs kind of works at a business. So he's got a shop on planet.
Okay, is he the business owner or does he work there?
I think he's like the second in command. So maybe he's kind of the manager, like the person who takes care of all the day-to-day, but he doesn't own the shop.
Okay, would you like to name that business?
I don't have anything off the top of my head. If anyone has anything real good that's coming to them.
Aina?
Okay, what kind of shop was it again?
Starship repair mechanic.
Nova Repairs?
No, was that Nova? Okay, brilliant. So Nova Repairs.
Yeah.
So I think you walk in and you remember that scene from Empire Strikes Back where you've got Han up on the top. Sorry, you've got Chewie up on the top of the Vulcan, doing repairs, head under a bonnet, sparks flying out, and you and Han walking in. I think this is very similar to the thing. You walk in and there's this huge distance between you, and you can see that he's basically perched on a ship with one of the panels up, working on the innards. He's got his face mask down. There's sparks flying out as he's using his thermo welder or laser welder or whatever we want to call it. And there's lots of loud banging and noises in the room as he's there working away.
And Kit walks in and just kind of like hollers over to him. Hey, Triv, I got something. Might be kind of interesting.
And he carries on working. It's obvious he can't hear you from this.
He's probably got his earplugs in.
And in fact, yeah, you can actually see a cable that runs all the way down to the sound unit, and he's got headphones on, big noise protecting headphones with speakers in.
Kip just kind of strolls over to the noise unit, hits the button, and it turns off, and just stands there waiting for him to come figure out what happened.
Hey! He turns off his welder. Hey! Which of you shrekks turned off my music?
Nice to see you too, Triv.
Kit. What can I do for you, lass?
I'm telling you, this'll be interesting. You got anywhere a little bit quieter?
What?
Quieter.
What?
I said, just head down here.
Hang on. Let me take my headphones off. What were you saying?
Could we talk about this at the back?
Yeah. You want a coffee?
Of course.
Yeah, I'll be right down. And he's wearing a harness, and he basically just rappels down, unclips, and walks over. And as he walks over, he pulls out some sort of space cigar from his apron, lights it up. Yeah. What can I do for you, lass? You come to buy that racer.
Oh, I can't afford it yet, but one day soon, it's coming.
Hurry up, or are we gone? I've done some modifications on it. It goes like the wind. It goes faster than the lightning storms. I swear.
Well, speaking of that racer and speaking of money, got a little something that we're thinking about moving. You might be able to tell me about it, and I'll kind of like flash him a glimpse of the star map.
And his face goes serious. Where'd you get that? In fact, don't tell me. Don't want to know. Do you know what you got there?
Well, I reckon it's 6 cred unless you got something better for me.
I ain't touching that, mate. That's too hot. And that's not worth 6 cred.
So it's a lot more.
Double that. If
Nope.
that's if you can find a buyer.
Those bastards, what's that faction named?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
What's the faction that we're doing those bastards, the Starsmith Guild, wanted to fleece us.
Well, they generally don't pay market value for stolen goods. It sort of encourages people.
And I guess this is pretty unique.
So what's special about this star map anyway? It's isn't it just a map?
No, that's a master star map. That's gravimetric data. You know the hyperspace routes that most folk use.
Yeah.
They're the safe ones. That's
so this is
I think my friend here is trying to say is I think this chip represents about 5 to 10 years on several supercomputers worth of energy and research invested, and it's all right here on this chip just for us.
5 to 10 years, 5 to 10 centuries, and that's just plotting the data. That's just going out and actually gathering it. That'll be the culmination of at least 1,000 years' work.
not too bad.
Yeah. I don't want it in you. Kit, I love you like a daughter, but I don't want that in my shop.
All right, I'll respect that, Trip.
That's too dangerous.
Well, don't worry. We'll be dealing with this soon, and I'll be back for that racer.
If you manage to sell that, it's yours.
Thanks a lot, Trip. We appreciate talking to you and all your assistance.
You're welcome. Now, I need to ask a favor. I need to ask a favor of you. Anyone comes asking about that, anyone at all, don't mention my name.
You got it.
I'm not a big shot like you lot. I got my wrench. I got my skills, and my skills don't lay in shootouts. So I'd appreciate it if my name doesn't come up.
Absolutely. Nothing.
Nope.
We do a handshake, grip arms type thing, and it'll signal for us to move out.
Okay, so we move away from the shop itself. Now we're going to move on to the payoff phase. So, are you handing in this chip?
I'm thinking I'd like to do like some hack the chip and do some research and try and figure out, if there's some opportunities that we can gain directly from this information on the chip.
Well, funny you should mention that. I thought you might say that. If you look on this on the Cerebus sheet, there is a wheel, which is an eight segment wheel. It says duplicate star map data because effectively, in order to gain access, I put it as duplicate star map data, but effectively it should be gain access to star map data. So there's an 8-point wheel there, and you will get an opportunity to try and actually hack into it through downtime actions.
Nice.
All right, I'm down to do that. I don't think that I trust Triv, and I think he knows what he's talking about. And I don't. If he thinks it's that hot, I'm not sure we should try to move it because we might just attract more trouble than it's worth. But if we want to keep it for a little while and get some perks, and then hand it back to the Starsmiths Guild. I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in particular, it sounds like from what Triv told us, there could be like some, maybe some access to some shipping lanes that most people don't have access to. I mean, we might be able to turn this into, something even more valuable, depending on what information's on here.
Yeah, I mean, if we can beat everyone to targets because we just get there faster, that's pretty valuable.
Absolutely. All right, then. And we made some cred, so I think we've got enough to keep ourselves flying. We could even go on take up another job while we're working on this one in our spare time. Working on accessing the star map data.
Makes sense.
Okay. So, do you want to add the creds that you got from the job to the ship stash?
Yeah. So that was that 4?
That was 4, but you also
I
paid
spent one.
So that would be 3.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm still digging my way around the ship's.
Did we put it in the vault? Is that where it goes?
No, that's.
Do we keep track of cred on the ship sheet, or is that just individual sheets?
Well, okay. So the ship sheet is. Oh no, sorry. I just realised what that is. Give me 2 seconds. That is actually how much the upkeep is, I believe.
Ah.
So upkeep for you guys will be 2. So you need to decide how. So you've got 5 cred at the moment. You need to decide how that goes about between folk, and how that's going to be split. So you need at least 2. You need to spend at least 2 creds to upkeep the ship, leaving 3 creds left over.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think assuming we all agree that we should keep the ship in proper maintenance. Well, since since Thane Brell seems to have gone on vacation, maybe he's the off man.
I mean, don't hear any complaints from me right now.
Okay, so in that case, then, if everyone gets 1 cred, in fact, I will add it to the sheets for you just to make it easier. At least I would do if I was adding it to the right place. Sorry.
Okay, so you're adding a cred for each of us.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So there we go. So everyone has a cred. Okay, so at the end of it, you don't get any income from the job itself. Next, heat. How did the job go? I would say that was actually quite smooth and quiet. Apart from the shootout at the hotel, you weren't actually doing much of the shooting. So I'm going to say that that's actually going to be 1 heat. But because you're licensed, that goes down to 0. So you don't get into any trouble, Brett.
Very nice.
One thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to change one of your faction rankings as a result of the job itself. And you are going to gain -1 with the Sun Eaters. But you are, and because you've not actually handed over the, if you'd actually handed over the, handed over the star map data, you would have got +1 with the Starsmith skills.
Okay, now is it possible that we're neutral because we didn't actually tell them we were going after it? We saw it on a bounty board, and then we hacked into their system to get information about it.
Well, you've already got 1 with the Starsmith skill. You've not gone down any, but also you've not gone up because you've not completed the actual job for them.
Okay, so we were already at -1.
No, you're a +1.
We lost reputation with a different faction, not the one we were doing the bounty for.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Which one did we lose reputation with?
The Sun Eaters.
They were the ones that. Okay, they're right. It was the Starsmiths Guild that we did the bounty thing for, or I mean, we took the information from them, but without telling them we were looking for it. And then the Sun Eaters were, yeah, they were a faction that already just disliked us, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. Okay, and so you're saying they still dislike us?
They dislike you even more now.
Even more. Okay.
Yes.
Is that any particular reason, or?
Yes, that may come up in game.
What was that?
Yeah. Yes, that is for a specific reason, but I think that's going to come out in the game rather than actually. I don't think it's been revealed yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
We just pissed them off.
They just don't like our face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't like you either.
Yes. All right. Excellent.
Okay.
Down with that.
Now everyone's done that. Everyone gets 2 downtime actions. Now, the downtime actions that everyone can... Oh, well, first of all, anyone with any level 1 harm, can you wipe it off, please? So I believe that's... Oren.
Yep. Cleared it.
Okay. So you can get to pursue 2 downtime activities. For any downtime roll, you get to add +1d to the roll if you get help from a friend or contact. After the roll, you may increase the result level by 1 for each cred spent. A 1 to 3 becomes a 4 to 5. 4 to 5 becomes a 6, and a 6 becomes a critical. So basically, by spending money, you can up the amount of successes that you get on that. Now, the downtime actions are acquire asset. Acquire temporary use of an asset. Roll cruel quality. The result indicates the quality of the asset that you get. If you have a schematic, you can craft a device with rig or hack. You can indulge vice to lower your stress. You can lay low to try and reduce your heat and wanted level. You can work a long-term project, such as the gaining access to the star map data. You can oh, sorry, I've got that wrong. With regards to the level 1 harm, that's actually an action, which is recover. You can spend 1 cred to repair 1 level damage to a ship system with a repair action, or you can train. You can mark 1 XP for an attribute or your playbook. So basically, the way you gain XP in this game is by doing desperate rolls and by using train actions. So does anyone have any ideas of the sort of things they want to do with their downtime?
So I'll do a recovery. Get rid of the numbed hand.
Okay.
At least.
So that's just 1 downtime action. You don't need to roll for that. If you had more serious injuries, then you would need to roll to try and advance the healing clock on them. Okay, so with Eli, any ideas of what you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think that I'll do some training.
Okay, which attribute would you like to train? And that's the overall levels?
Okay, so I'd train insight, prowess, or resolve.
That's right. And when those 6 bars fill up, you can mark another pip on it.
Gotcha. I think that I will mark prowess.
Okay, and how are you doing that? In what way are you training that?
Yeah, I think that I'm just... So we established that there's this racer, and I think that I can't buy it, but Triv still lets me take it out for a spin.
Okay.
And I'm take it to the races and do a little of that on the side. and working on my piloting and reflexes and stuff.
Excellent. And because you're calling in the help of your friend, you get to roll. You get to roll 2 dice for that.
Excellent. So where's the train button?
No, you just click prowess.
Just click prowess.
Yep.
Bonus dice 1.
That's right. What was your highest roll?
All right. I rolled a 6.
Okay. In that case, then you get to advance 3 slots on your training wheel.
Awesome. Very good.
Okay, Walter, is there anything you'd like to do with your downtime?
Yeah, I would like to engage in a long-term project to gain access to this star map.
Okay. And how are you doing that? In what way do you envision yourself doing that?
Well, I'm definitely see myself at the computer, hacking into it, using the ship's computer and my hacking tools.
Okay.
Now, if we wanted to get a friend to help us, does that mean that it's like the friend has to commit one of their downtime actions too?
Like, can I help?
No, well, you can, but you do it as your own downtime action.
Okay, so another one of my downtime actions would be to help him with.
That's right.
project.
Yes.
All right, I'm down to do that.
Okay, so Walter, do you have a deadly friend that you can use to actually help you with this? I understand you've got a moneylender who's a friend of yours, and Aura, an information broker, who's a rival.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure I would want to tell Aura, and I don't know how helpful Nyx would be.
You've also got access to the ship's contact.
Oh, right. That's the reporter.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to contact them anyway, and just sort of like let them know about I don't know what I don't know. I probably can't help but blab something about having a backdoor into the Star Guilds. Not me, right? But I think that our reporter friend, I would let them know that I heard of this hacker named Elbows who, I hear they have a backdoor into the system of the Star Guild. Just thought you might be interested in that, right? Like I'm always trying to like increase my like hacker cred, right? Of my alter ego.
Does she know that you're Elbows?
I mean, we pretend that she doesn't, but yeah, she probably does. Because I'm like trying to impress her, right? So yeah. Stacy Weathers, that's her name.
That's right. Yes. Really? And what would someone have to do to gain access to that?
Oh well, I mean, most people, there's no way they could do it, and certainly not without getting caught. But
she puts 2 glasses down on the table and takes out a bottle of space rum. I'm using space for everything at the moment. Argolian rum, and pours 2 glasses and picks up one.
Well, from what I've heard, right, on there's some there's some in some of the underground communication channels, I've heard that the Elbows used some really cutting edge techniques to foil their security and establish a backdoor, which would be really amazing. I mean, that's incredibly valuable information.
Oh, it is. It is. I would love to meet Elbows one of these days. He sounds so fascinating.
He's very mysterious. I doubt you'd ever actually be able to meet him. I mean, of course, if you knew who Elbows really was, that would, I mean, that's dangerous information. It could put could put you in legal jeopardy if you had that kind of information.
Oh, that's a pity. He sounds so dashing.
So
brave.
He probably is.
But you've not answered the question.
What would that?
What would someone have to pay for access to that?
What would someone have to pay for access to that?
What would someone have to give? What would someone need to do to gain access to that link?
Oh, well, I mean, I can't say how Elbows would have done it, but you know, I mean, if it were up to me, I mean, there's you know, there is this parsec language vulnerability, right? And by injecting some Gravo script into that, you know, someone might be able to bypass their security, but someone would have to be really good to do that. I mean, they're going to be checking for that.
Okay, and Elbows, is there anything in particular he's after at the moment?
Probably just the thrill. There's, you know, a true hacker just loves, just can't, you know, something about breaking into a place you're not supposed to be is desirable. Gets the blood pumping.
The blood pumping.
So
indeed. So what brings you to my door today?
well, you know, I was looking over the bounty board, and apparently there's a stolen star map, and I was just wondering if you have any information. We were thinking maybe we'd go after it. We haven't, you know, we haven't contacted the Star Guild about it yet. You know, we're pondering our different options, but I was wondering if you know something about this stolen star map, and you know, I mean, that's a big deal that it's still out there, that someone stole it.
Oh, it can't be incredibly important one. I mean, they're not offering a big reward, are they?
Ah, okay. So it's probably not a big deal, you think?
Well, I didn't say that. Why? What have you heard?
Oh, we don't know anything except what's here on the bounty board, the publicly posted information. You know, there's a few other jobs on the bounty board. We're just contemplating our options. If it'd be worth looking for this this horrible thief, whoever they are, that took it.
I know you're not the only one that's been asking about it.
Oh, who else has been asking about it?
Well, I know you don't get on with Aura, but they've been incredibly useful in the past, and they've come to me and asked about it as well.
Or figures. Well, you know, it would almost be worth contacting the Star Guild to get information about it and going after it, just to beat Aura to it, to be honest. But
I can do that. Yeah.
oh no, it's all right. You know, I think there's some other bounties that are a little bit more up our alley. We you know, we like a little more adventure.
You've got a good nose on you. You've got a good nose on you, and if you think this is something worth looking into, I can look into it. Out of curiosity.
You know what I'd mostly be interested in is what's Aura's interest in this? Is he just interested in the bounty, or is there something else that interests him?
You know Aura better than I do. What is the beef between you? What is the beef between you? What happened?
Well, Aura and I used to work together when we were working for the Bardeco Syndicate, and well, basically, one of the jobs that we were working on together went south, and Bornico threw me under the bus. And unfortunately, the lieutenant in the syndicate that we were both working under, they had a thing for Oro, so they believed him, and I got ran out, and that's why I'm out here on the edge of the why I'm out here on the edge sector, working as a bounty hunter now, instead of living it up in the closer to the center of the hegemony.
It's how these stories normally go. It's not all bad out here, though. There's at least some shining spots on this planet.
Yeah, it's all right. Got some good bars.
He pushes the glass towards you. and some good friends.
Indeed. Good to see you again, Stacy.
I'll look into that and see if I can find out anything about that star map for you.
You know what? Honestly, more than that, I'd really love a chance to make Aura look like a fool and rub their nose in it. To tell you the truth.
Okay, I probably shouldn't be telling you this then. Come here. And she leans in. She leans up to you. Apparently one of Aura's information brokers got hit recently.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's interesting. What do you know about this information broker?
Oh, not much. He tended to deal in Urtech and ancient artifacts, but he would take the data from it and then sell it on. But apparently, he was hit quite badly recently. Some people came in strong to one of his where he was trading and beat him up. It had Aura screaming about it.
I mean, that's a shame. Poor fellow. Well, it's a tough business. You got to be able to roll with the punches in it. I'm sure they'll recover.
No, it's a tough world out here, tough galaxy.
Well, thank you for that information, Stacy. That's I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And if I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Likewise, I'm always like sharing information with you. I love reading your write-ups. Nothing makes me happier than seeing the write-ups you make about our crew, or sometimes the information I give you about elbows and the write-ups. Those are always hilarious. You have a great perspective. It's almost like you're turning elbows into a little bit of a hacker celebrity. Which,
and at that point, her phone goes. Oh, excuse me, I've got to get this.
Oh yeah, sure.
And she turns around, takes the phone call. Oh, you can see yourself out. Don't worry. I'll see you later.
See you later.
And I think we'll end the scene there.
Okay, cool.
So, yep, you can roll with +1 on your roll for working that. In this case, you're hacking it, so you'll use your hack, but you'll get an additional +1. Do you want me to roll it for you?
Was this the long-term project? Because I'm going to use my other action to help as well.
I'm going to disappear for a while. My internet guy just showed up. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna have to go. I'll let you know when I'm back. Sorry.
Walter, I'll roll your dice for you and apply it to the project.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Apparently, I can't. Okay, well, we'll get him to roll it when he comes back. Okay. So, Eli, we'll go back to you. Do you have a second downtime action you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'll help with the chip encoding.
Okay.
It.
And how are you doing that?
I think that I'm using some of my rig skill to the normal ship's computer can't really deal with it, so I need to make some adjustments to help better process the data.
Okay. And is there anyone you're calling for help with? To help with this with, or?
No, I'll just roll it alone.
Okay. So in which case then, can you roll with rig, please?
All right. Position is.
It's in this case the position is. In this case, this doesn't have a position roll. This is just a pure work downtime project. Project roll.
So what would I? Because when I click on rig,
it's controlled and standard.
Right. Bonus dice. 3.
What is your highest dice roll?
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you get to add 1 to that project.
All
Or
right.
you could spend a cred and increase that to 2.
Nah, I'll keep the cred.
Okay, so that is 1. And then we'll wait for Walter to get back to do his roll. And Einar, your second downtime action. Is there anything you want to do? Is there a piece of equipment you particularly fancy getting hold of, or is there any sort of long-term projects you as a character want to engage in?
I can't really think about any of anything, any long-term projects right now. But I think I'd like to train.
Okay. So what would you like to train in?
So I think I'll just like to train in prowess.
Okay. So in which case then, can you roll your prowess?
With no bonus dice.
With no bonus dice. It's just a standard dice roll.
Okay, I'm back for now. The turns out the internet person didn't bring a long enough ladder, so he's gone away to get a bigger ladder.
Okay. Much more efficient than our engineers then that don't carry ladders on the vans. So what did you roll, Einar?
Highest.
Yep, please.
Looks like a 6.
No, that's 2 6s.
Oh.
And that would be a critical.
Ooh.
Okay.
So in which case, can you add 4 slots to your downtime? Sorry, to your XP for prowess, please.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow, you got 4 XP slots for prowess. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had actually had the prowess training crew upgrade, you would have actually gone up a level at that point, because each of those would have counted as 2. So okay, Walter, do you want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah, should I make that roll now?
That's right. Yes. The roll is going to be controlled and standard.
Okay, and so we decided. Okay, so we're decided then that using Stacy was going to be the extra die. So this is not going to take an extra die by an extra die from someone else using their downtime.
No, they do. They basically how they contribute to the downtime action is they can work the long-term project as well.
Okay, they could just like work on it on their own. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll roll with 1 bonus die. I got 1 6.
Okay, so in that case, then you get to mark 3 segments on that. So I
Cool.
will mark that for you.
Okay, thanks.
So you're currently halfway there. You're up to 4 segments.
Nice.
So with that done, does anyone have Walter? You have another outstanding downtime action, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to indulge my vice, so and there's no ship damage to repair. I could train, but I'd rather just go ahead and hack through this thing as quick as possible and do another long-term project. Can I do that?
Yeah, by all means.
All right. So then I guess I'll do the next one. Now, it's not possible to push myself in downtime actions, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So then I will just do 2 dice for that one. Okay, and that's still controlled and
it's still controlled and standard.
Standard. Okay, no bonus dice. Let's see. Or I guess I could have, well, too late now, I suppose, but I guess I could have like spent an extra, or if it's possible to spend a cred to get something.
Yes, to increase the effect level by 1. So
increase the effect level. Okay.
In this case, that would actually be put 2 extra slots on there.
Put up 2. Oh, okay. So did that do anything? Did that do it by 1? Let's see.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. So I could have spent a cred to increase it by another 1.
That's right. Yes.
I don't know. I might do that just because I feel like getting this star map done as soon as possible is going to be good, especially since we've only got so many sessions to play. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my cred. I went ahead and I'm trying to unmark it now. Huh, I can't unmark it for some reason.
Let me do that for you.
Okay. And
so
then,
yeah,
then I'll take the 2 more.
Yeah, it's the little circle that's next to it to get rid of it.
All right. So yeah, I must have like gone and upgraded my hacker tools, and you know, in order to maybe I like went and like you know, spent some money getting some illegal like, you know, hacking info to like aid me on this. You know, everything I can do, I'm throwing at this to break this thing open.
That's brilliant. So you put some feelers out. You went and got some code, got some of the basically got a slightly better interface for your deck, and it's all churning over, and it's almost there. You're sure that just given a little bit more time you can get in, but it's still processing and processing and processing, and it eats up so much runtime on this deck that you've got, and it's not particularly hard. It's just time consuming.
Yeah, it's just brute force trying to crack the some of the last codes on it. Yep.
So with that done, we've come to the end of downtime. So new jobs. So before we do that, both Cord and Kit have gambling as a vice. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you both gamble at the same place, or do you gamble in different places? What sort of things do you normally gamble on? Is it card games? Is it racing?
I think Cord is a betting man. I think he likes to bet on. I mean, I can imagine he plays cards, but I think he's more the kind of person who likes to just make wages on, you know, random things like, you know, is it possible to hack into this system, or, you know, something like that. I think he and Aura used to make bets with each other all the time about who could hack into different systems faster.
Who can get around the world in 80 days using none of their own transport?
Yeah, exactly.
Very Phileas Fogg. Okay, so what about Kit?
Kit likes the gambling with the hint of skill on it, so she's all about cards, and she'll gamble at the races, but only if she's racing.
Okay, so you've been testing out that new speeder bike that what was their name? Triff has been working on. So I think at some point during time on there, you're out doing laps, and he's there and he's going, "Lass, you're actually quite good at this. You ever thought about becoming a racer?"
Oh no, you know, I was only going to just buy the bike for fun. Of course I'm going to become a racer. Best in the galaxy.
You know, the Bar Classic is in 2 days' time. These times you're getting, I think you might have a shot on that thing.
Oh. So, care to front me?
I don't think I could afford it.
I mean, your bike, my skills.
Honestly, lass, I like you, but I don't think I could afford it.
What, you don't think I'll win?
Oh, I'm confident you win, but I don't think I could afford it.
All right.
I'm not being coy here, girl. I'm not being coy. I can't afford it. All my money's wrapped up in that. And he points to his shop. Disposable cash isn't something I'm well known for.
So what's the entry fee?
Somewhere in the region around about 7 creds.
All right. Well, you say it's in a week?
It's in 2 days.
2 days. No, I think that might be doable. I think we could make this. Let me see. I'll get back to you. But if I get the money, I can use the speeder.
If you get the money, you can use the speeder. One
All right.
condition. One condition.
Oh, it's always the conditions with you.
He walks into the shop and comes back with a leather jacket, and he throws it at you.
Does it have like the shop across the front?
It's got the shop's patches all over it, and
like, oh come on, this will clash with everything.
Yeah, it'll be seen. See, it works.
You know, I have a very specific style. It should be noted that Kit's normal outfit is wearing cowboy boots, tight leather pants, and then like a silk blousey top over top, and the jacket just like does not go with any of this. Are you sure? Can we just like throw it on the side of this car?
That's my condition.
All right, you drive a hard bargain.
Anyway, let's get her in, and let's get her stripped and see how she's done. And do you want to describe the speeder?
Yeah, I'm envisioning. Let's see how can we. I'm trying to think something along the lines of like merging horse races with jockeys and like the pod racers from Star Wars, and how we kind of put those together. So I think it's almost like you have two kind of horse type automatons that pull something, and the like jockey is suspended in the middle of it.
Excellent. So what color is it? Does it look high tech? Does it look sleek? Or is it a rusted, broken down hot rod? Or
I think it's somewhere kind of in the middle, that it's like looks like a mid-range one, but the Triv is like kind of regutted and rebuilt the entire engines on both of the automatons, and so the insides are real nice, but on the outside doesn't look like too much.
Brilliant. So so we've got this, and do you want to name it? In fact, Trev will say, so what are we calling it, lass?
I think we're calling it Sparks.
Sparky. Yeah, that'll do. You can just see the sparks coming from the joints when they're running. Those servos are so high grade. I'm amazed the legs don't fly off. In fact, thinking about it, I better see to those servos because those legs might actually fly off. Give me a moment. And he disappears.
Can't that when I'm winning my race.
And he disappears off into the shop. So, coming back, where are you going to get 7 creds from?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm definitely like get back to the rest of the crew and be like, all right, so see here, there's this race, and I know I can win and we can make even more money, but we need to make 7 creds so I can get in the first place.
Well, I'm sure we can find a job that'll get us 7 creds. Let's check out the bounty board.
Okay, so if you have a look on the bounty board, the bounties have updated.
Oh, nice. Let's see. So, still looking for that starship map. Maybe we should. Nah, it's probably not worth the 6 cred. Probably too much work. Let's not bother with the starship map. Someone else will find that one.
I mean, and you said you're so close to cracking it. I figure once we crack it, we can give it back, right?
Maybe. We'll see.
Make money on both sides.
That's true. Let's see here. So bras, 8 creds. That's a possession of weaponry, murder, assault. Huh. Sounds fun. Ooh, an Urbot. A stolen Urbot held by striking miners in Iridian Mesa. Or squatting damaged private parts, sedition, and trade. A squatter, an Urbot networking unit, or a murder and assault. What do you two think? They all sound pretty good to me.
I really don't like these clones flying. Last time we looked, there was 3 of them. Now there's 5. I think we need to kill them. We'll take over the galaxy.
That is true. There are more of them now.
You want to go clone shooting?
Sounds pretty good. I mean, how tough could they be, right?
Well, if the 2 of you up for it, I'm down.
Let's kill some clones.
We'll have to get at least 3 of them, though, to be able to enter the race.
I think we could get 3 in 2 days. I mean, they probably kind of hang out together, right?
Okay, so has everyone settled on the clones?
Sounds like it. Going clone hunting.
Okay. So I'm glad someone noticed that the numbers have gone up. I did wonder whether people would. So yes, you get the packet from the bounty board. It comes down. So the Makers Guilds are basically the cloners. So someone has stolen a cloning cylinder from them, and in fact, one of their low-ranking members of staff stole a cloning cylinder and sold it to a low-ranking mobster who's just churning out copies of himself. In fact, he's had the bounty on himself collected so many times now they've just nulled the bounty. Because every time someone shoots him and goes to hand in the bounty, it's another clone. So rather than that, the actual the Makers Guild have issued the bounty to basically kill all the clones, but it's only specifically numbered ones. So the clones actually identify themselves by their name, Wezol, but they'll normally have a little tattoo somewhere on their body, which will actually have the number of the batch that they come from. Now, given this person only has one cloning cylinder, he can only produce 1 clone at a time. So the bounties that keep on being collected are based out on the Mesa. So you've got these large rolling deserts that cover most of the actual planetary surfaces. Got little crystal plants that grow up like crystalline cactuses. And this huge mesa area. So you get large raised plains. And there's a boomtown out there by the name of Hope's Wells. And the bounty's been collected 3 times so far down there. So all the details on the map seem to indicate that at least they're based around there, if nothing else.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, that sounds straightforward enough. Sounds like we head over to Hope's Wells. Now, is Hope's Wells like a spaceport, or is it just like a small town?
It's a boom town. So think it doesn't have a dedicated spaceport. It has a field. So there's no. So when you set down, you need to make sure that you set down in the right place, and you're not coming down on anywhere that's got soft sand or something where you're going to dig in. Because this place hasn't been set up. This place is basically sprung up overnight. So it's all prefab units and stuff that's been flown in. And in fact, some of the bigger operators down there, like the hotels and the bordellos and the like, have basically just flown in ships and landed them in the middle of town. And then basically set up business out of those ships.
Yeah, I remember now you telling us that like why the boomtowns are so rare. There's like something that just kind of comes and goes quickly around here. I forget what the reason was.
There are lightning storms that basically cross the planet.
Yeah.
And as those storms go over, they strip the top layer of the desert away and reveal crystalline deposits and mineral deposits. So the towns tend to spring up. They don't tend to be big deposits, but they mine them and they extract them all as quickly as they can. and then basically move on and set up somewhere else when a new strike comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So that they tend to be very violent places. They tend very much like like Tombstone or Deadwood. If you've got the modern day, well, you've got the historic equivalent. So,
All right.
so I take it you're flying there in the Cerberus.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Let's hop in.
So where are you landing? Are you landing close to the town, or are you landing further out and coming in on your own, on vehicles or on foot?
I don't see any reason to land further out. I think we can just land near town, walk right in, ask some questions, shoot some clones, make easy money.
So the thing is,
oh yeah, go ahead.
so the thing is, we got this pet that can maybe get the scent. If we get the scent of one of the clones, we should be able to track the rest. So our priority should be, capturing one first, and then just go fetching the rest with Razor as our nose.
I love it.
Okay, so you fly into town, you land in the parking field, which is literally just called parking field, and that's painted on. There's been a stencil put over a plasterboard sign, and it's been sprayed on, and you can tell it's not been done properly. The paint slipped, and it's all starting to look a bit grubby already. It's only been here about 2-3 weeks, but the field is full of ships of various sizes. There's some quite decent sized oil freighters. There's smaller ships, some cutters. There's 1 or 2 fighters. There's a few shuttles, a few transports, and the vast majority of them are all ones that would carry cargo of some sort. So there's nothing here that seems particularly out of place or threatening.
Yeah, I say we just sit down and go into the saloon and make some friends. What do you think?
Okay, so does anyone have any? So is everyone going with that plan? Okay, so to me, he says, looking at the wrong sheet. Oh no, that's actually on the character sheets. 1 second. So what sort of plan do you think this is going to be? Is this going to be an assault? Are you going to go in quick and hard? Are you trying to socialize your way through? Are you trying to infiltrate the town and find out where it is? Or how do you think you're doing this?
I think stealth's the way to go now, since if we are gonna use our tracking capabilities effectively, if we can get one of them without the others noticing, and then
That makes sense.
just hit the others in quick succession after that.
Yeah, okay. So maybe use our skulk, like figure that we'll just sort of sneak around town, and I wonder if there's any way we could get a sample scent of any kind. Is there like So it seems like a couple have already been turned in. I wonder if there's like a setup that we could do before we go into town, where we like try and like go find where these bodies are turned in, and bring Razor with us to get their scent before we even go into town.
Yep. So you ask around town, and this town actually has, you saw it from the outskirts. There's a section in the town where you fly over. It's it's about a quarter of a mile outside the town itself. There appear to be a lot of small mounds actually built at regular intervals. So it looks to be some sort of graveyard there.
Oh God! So we're gonna have to like dig up a grave that we see like labeled with. We're gonna have to find a grave labeled Wessel, Wessel 3 or something, and dig it up. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we're bad people. We're bad people.
So you go through you go through the graveyard. Razor is attracting some attention as you go through. You don't see many things like this, many creatures like this on this planet. So people are paying attention as you go through the town itself, but it's not lasting attention. They look at you go through and they just write it off as you can see them writing off at work. You can see some of the people. I think that might be the guy with your ladder, Walter.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna disappear again for a while. Sorry. Keep going on without me.
So you can see some of the shopkeepers, and I think this is approaching evening. Some of the shopkeepers who are outside their stores, they're sweeping up, and they look up, and you can see them chatting as you go past. And as you walk past the sheriff's office, there's a guy sitting on a swinging chair there with a blaster shotgun over his knee. Well, look at what we have here. Been a right while since I've seen one of those.
You seen one of these before?
Yeah, used to have one as a hunting dog myself. Best little bloodhounds you can have, even if they are, well, not hounds or dogs in any shape or form.
They're much better. They can fly.
Well, yeah, they're not so good for cuddling up to at night, but, you know, you kind of have everything. What's his name? Well,
Razor.
Sorry, that's presumptuous of me. What's their name?
Razor.
Oh, well, hello there, Razor Bar. And he comes over and he goes to stroke Razor's. There's a fin that I think that goes over Razor's head, and he goes down to stroke it, and Razor snaps. Oh, you got him a bit feral there.
Just the way we like it.
Yeah, you keep him on a short leash in town, you hear me?
You bet.
If I hear of any of my folk being savaged by him, I'll know who to look for.
Do we look like people who savage people?
He looks at Razor and looks back. You got one of those? I was. So, Boz, what brings you in? Sorry. Ma'am? Boz, what brings you into town? You don't look like miners.
We're tourists.
Oh, you be comedians from the cabaret. Oh, sorry. You don't look like comedians from the cabaret.
Oh.
Seriously,
Okay.
what do you hear?
And OT's just looking over at Kid, trying to hint at maybe now it's your turn. This is what you're good at.
Yeah, and Kit kind of like takes a step up. It's like, oh, don't worry, we're just here for looking for a few people that I don't think you really want in your town, and we'll just take them away nice and quiet, and everything will be all good here for you.
You see, that sounds mildly like kidnapping.
Oh, don't worry, we got a license.
Well, can I see that license?
Sure thing. And I'll check that on my gear.
And so you do. Well, you be right careful. And he pulls back his coat, and you can see that he's got a sheriff's badge on there. It's all nice shined up. It's a new badge, although it does have a hole where it shouldn't be. My name's Bobo. I'm the sheriff around here to see your parts. Duly sanctified by the town council of Hope Springs.
Well, it's awfully nice to meet you, Sheriff. You can call me Kit. We're here today looking for some Some Weasel brothers.
Weasels? I ain't hearing no weasels. A weasel.
The Weasel.
Oh shit, boy. Why? You here to take that garbage away? Don't worry, we got him. How many brothers can I have? I mean, I swear we must have paid out at least 3 times now on that bounty.
Yeah, it's the problem with clones.
Clones? Wait a minute, these bars are clones? Just how many of these goddamn motherfuckers are there?
A lot. And there's more of them every day.
Gee.
You know, you just do the paying, and we'll take care of them. Nice and easy.
Sorry, I say bars. I shouldn't say bars. Force of habit. I'm sorry, ma'am. So, folk, what can I do to help you?
Well, you already met Razor, but if you have something to maybe use to get us started, you said you caught some earlier. Maybe if we could have a little scent sample. And I think I'd like to kind of use Sway to maybe help me here.
Yep, you certainly can. So, I think I'm going to give you a dice because he likes Razor, and he's very much an animal man. And I haven't shown his license. I think everything's just pointed in your favor.
Ooh.
So you gain a bonus dice for that.
All right.
And this is controlled and standard effect.
All right. 1 bonus die. Oh, that is double 6s.
So, yep, yeah, it goes through no problem whatsoever. He says, "Yeah, boys, I can show you where I buried them."
That works mighty fine.
Yeah, you walking or you want to ride?
Let's ride.
And he goes round, and there's this hover sled that's pulled by 2 jet-powered hovering horses at the front, and he climbs up. Hop on back. Who's riding shotgun?
Me.
All right, go for it.
So you get in the sled, and he takes you up to the cemetery. So he hops off, and he walks over to a single gravestone, and it says, "Here lies Wessel, and his brother, and his other brother." And it looks like you can tell that this has been done one after another after another. They just keep on adding to the same grave to save space. He goes to the back. He goes to the back of the hover sled. Takes out some spades and throws one to OT. And throws one to Kit. Well, there you go. Do me a favor and put them back where you found them afterwards.
No problem, officer.
I'll be seeing you. And he hops back on the hover sled and heads back into town.
Oh, that went well.
Told you. Easy job, easy money.
Yeah, let's dig.
So you dig. Eventually, you put the spade in, it goes, thunk, and what you hit sounds a little bit squishy. So you open it up, and yes, there is indeed a fresh body in there. The smell is, it's not nice. In fact, oh God, that doesn't smell good at all. But you have your scent sample.
All right. Just turn it over to Razor.
Okay, Razor comes over. He sniffs it. Sorry, they sniff it. They get close and starts stalking round, and then starts heading back into town.
He's got the scent.
Indeed. I think we should probably follow.
And
Let's go.
At this point, I would like you to make an engagement roll.
Okay.
You roll 1 dice for pure luck, and I think you're gonna the advantage of the scent and everything else. I think you're gonna get additional dice as well for having a major advantage. So if you look on the ship sheet, it says roll fortune with +1 dice.
All right. Let's do that. So we've got 2 dice.
That's right. Yes. Okay, what did you get? Oh, you got a 6. Oh, yeah, you're in a really good position. The Razor's going through town, through town, and it stops outside a doctor's office. And he starts nudging the door.
Kit, you take the front, I'll take the back.
All right. So I'll give you 2 minutes to get in position, and I'll flush them out for you.
Good.
Who's Razor going with?
I'll go with Razor will come with me.
Okay. So you get in position. And how are you doing your entry?
So I think the plan is that I'm going to be really loud and like calling out to them. And my point is to try to spook them and be kind of slow and clumsy and like give them an opportunity to escape out back, and then we can just let OT take them out as they come out.
Okay. So you've made your engagement roll. You don't need to do anything more at that point. So you start shouting. Do you shout their name or?
Yeah, I shout like, "Weasel
Okay.
Brothers, come on out the front with your hands up."
And one of the important things I forgot to say, can everyone choose their load as well, please?
Kid has a light load because carrying too many things just isn't fashionable and classy. So
I think OT is.
I'm sorry, you broke up. I'm afraid.
I think OT is no, actually, she's going heavy this time. Because she doesn't like the clones. She wants to kill them.
I mean, you are a muscle.
So you're shouting at the front door. Razors starts banging on the door, starts headbutting it. The door starts creaking. All of a sudden, there's a smash from a back window as someone jumps from the top story and lands in the dirt not far away from you, OT. And it's a perfectly looking human. Blonde hair, really short cropped hair. You can see that they've got a tattoo under one eye. The tattoo itself says 6 in Roman numerals. And you can see that they've actually got their trousers off and they're holding them in one hand. And in the other hand, they're holding a blaster pistol.
All right, so I'll try to shoot the just then incapacitate him first.
Okay. So how are you doing that? What sort of, is that a pure scrap thing, or are you trying to actually convince him to put down his gun and surrender, which would be more a command thing, or how are you doing this?
I think since I really don't like these guys, I think I'll just go for the quick and easy.
Okay, so that's standard risky.
And does our like action of flushing them out count as if I'm helping him?
If you want to, then yes, you can spend the stress to help.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. I was about to say I was about to give you a devil's. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. So you see him land, and there's that shocked moment where you look down and you notice he's got something in his hand. He throws it at you, and your shot, as it comes up, turns to actually blast what he's thrown, and you vaporize his trousers. You disintegrate them. But that distraction is all he needs. He lifts up his blaster and he fires into you, almost point blank. And I'd like you to take a level 2 harm, please.
Ooh.
Now you can resist that and reduce it to a level 1.
Let's do that.
Okay. So how are you resisting it? Also, one of the things you may want to consider as well is in your equipment list. If I go into the right one, there we go. You have armor. So if you want to use 2 of your points of your load on your armor, you can just automatically reduce that down to 1.
Yep, I'll do that.
So there you go. I think there's that blast that hits you, and rather than actually a normal person, that would have been a telling blow. That would have been a hideous blow, but your armor resists it. There's that whole moment where the armor absorbs the energy and it flashes out in all directions, but the release of energy knocks you off your back, knocks you down on the floor, and I think you're going to take a level 1 harmed, which is going to be winded.
Okay.
So Eli, you can hear the sound of the blaster shot coming from the back of the building.
Oh, God damn it.
Razor is still trying to knock through the front door.
I think I'll open the door to let Razor at him and kind of follow, trying to, as I enter the house, I'm going to try to be careful not to get like surprised and taken off guard. I assume that even if things aren't going great, I assume OT can take care of whatever's going on because they are the toughest of all of us.
Sorry, the line broke up there. Did you say you're going into the house or you're going around the side?
Yeah, I'm going to help Razor get into the house, and then I'm going to follow and go carefully to not be surprised and just let OT take care of it because
Okay.
they're way tougher than I am. They can handle themselves.
Okay.
Can we do a flashback?
Yeah, if you want to. What are you wanting to flashback to?
So, wanted to flashback to us scoping out the scene just a little bit before, and just isolating the most likely ways of routes of escape, and just booby trapping the route of escape with some sort of tripwire or just to slow him down.
Okay, so I think so. What would you say that is? Is that a rig? Is that a? It sounds pretty rigged to me. But how are you actually doing it? What way do you imagine you're doing it?
Yeah, I that's probably a rig. Yeah, I feel like yeah, just doing a sort of a steel wire across the street,
Okay.
between the buildings.
Okay, so in which case then I'm going to charge you 2 stress for that. So he's running away. He's running away. He turns back. He fires a few shots off in your direction to keep you pinned down. And as he turns around, there's a as he goes toppling over the wire that you've actually put in place, and he lands on the ground. Can I ask you to make that rig roll, please?
Risky.
So, by the way, I'm around. I'm the internet person's still working on my roof, so I might get called away, but I'm mostly here.
No worries. Just to bring you up to speed, they've found one of the Wezolds. They went to the graveyard, found one of the bodies. Razor took them to a doctor's office, and Razor and Eli went in. Razor and Kit went in the front door, and OT was out the back. The Wezzel jumped out of the top window to get away, landed through the trout through his pants that he had in his hand at OT, which distracted him and allowed him to get the jump on him. And OT's flashback now to actually set up a tripwire across one of the roads, so that when the Wezzel is running, the clone is running, he's going to run into it. So OT, can you make that hack roll? Sorry, the rig roll, please.
Yeah, would that be risky or?
I'd say at that time it was quite controlled. So there's no risk. There's no risk to you in that roll.
And
what we want to see is the effect it has on them. It's a standard effect.
Yeah, and no bonus dice. 4. No. It says take the lowest result above, so that's a 2.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so he runs in. He runs into the actual wire. He trips. He stumbles, and as he stumbles, there's a woman walk. Sorry, there's a group of miners walk in the other direction, and he stumbles right into them, lands on top of one, and pulls them up, and basically has their blaster to his blaster to their head as he's backing up. So there's this partially inebriated miner. I'm not saying the gender or anything else. I must not use the standard trope of the helpless female being rescued. So I fall into it too easy, and it's something I need to stop myself doing. So he's standing there and he's backing up. He's backing up. You'll never get me, lawman. Put your guns down, or the civvy gets it.
So I'll put my hands up, the gun sort of hanging down by my fingers, and I'll slowly walk over to the side of the road and put it away.
And at this point, I think the other two are there now. They're on scene as he's backing up.
So tempted to do another flashback, but if anyone else has any bright ideas.
Is there anything in the house or anybody?
Oh yeah, sorry. You get to the top, and then you can see that there's a doctor there. He had his medical scanner out, and you can see that it was still processing data. And as you get up there, you can actually see a full body scan of the Wezzel up on the screen, or the clone up on the screen.
Interesting.
The doctor's standing there, and he's basically still got his face mask on, and he's got these little glasses that come down that. And of course, he's got a big pneumatic syringe in his hand with a little bit of green liquid hanging on the end, and he's like, I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. No. What are you doing in my office? Get out!
No. I mean, aiding and abetting a fugitive is a crime, I'm sure you know. But if you were to help us, we could forget about it.
I have a mendicant's oath to help any who come to me in need of medical aid. That won't stand up in court. What do you mean, criminal? I merely saw a sick man.
What kind of sick?
He doesn't have long to live. Poor man.
Poor man indeed.
Something has damaged his genetic structure. It's unraveling.
Well, it could be that he's the 6th clone of a already clone of a bunch of other clones, but
Hmm.
wouldn't know much about that.
Well, every clone I've examined would not deteriorate that quickly. Unless, of course, they hadn't been processed correctly.
Interesting. I think at about that point is when I hear all the commotion in the street.
Okay.
And I'm like, we're going to have to put this one on hold, Doc, and I'm going to run out.
Okay. So downstairs, Eli, we'll give the Walter and OT.
Yeah. I'll get there.
Give Cord. I've got to get used to referring to people in characters' names. We'll give OT and Cord a chance to act down there. So, Cord.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You've got this.
Let's see.
You've got this. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask for like an update on the situation because I missed quite a bit.
So the clone has basically got a drunk miner that was walking up the street. When he ran into the tripwire, he fell down, fell onto them, and basically got up and has one held at gunpoint with the gun to their head at the moment.
Okay. This is just like a local town youth, someone who's here working.
This is just the local miner.
Okay. And they're like out on the street or something.
Yep, you know in these one horse towns where you just get that big long strip down. You get Main Street in the Western, where it has the clock tower and it has the saloon at one end, the sheriff's office at the other, and it's the place where all the gun fights normally happen. He's currently backing up towards the Undertaker's office.
Okay. Now, is there a sense of where Cord was standing when all this sort of went down? Like, were we all together in a particular position?
We haven't established where you were, so where would you like to be standing?
Yeah, maybe that's like a setup move or something. Maybe I was. Maybe I'm like hanging out in back, or even maybe I took like a. I don't know how the situation started, but is it possible that I'm like behind him or up in a window, like with a blaster rifle or something?
Yeah, you can certainly be up high if you want to. Do
Okay.
you have any means of getting up there? Oh, also, you weren't here at the time. Can you choose your load level, please?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're ready to mean business, so I'll go ahead and choose normal.
Okay.
Because we're on the job, and heck, maybe I should even wear armor.
You don't need to mark that until you use that.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, I want to say I'm like have a vantage point with a heavy blaster.
Okay.
So I marked that in.
Okay. So you're up on one of the roofs, and you can see down. You have a clear shot on him. What are you doing?
All right. I'm gonna take it.
Okay. So that sounds like scrap to me.
Yeah. Now, is it possible that that because my companions have his attention, that counts as like an aid?
That would definitely count as an aid. Yes. Who is actually spending the stress for that? But that would be OT, wouldn't it? If you're choosing to do so.
Yeah, so I'll try to speak very calmly and very slowly and sort of point at the blaster that I'm slowly putting away.
Okay, so heavy blaster is effectively a full battle rifle. It's stuff that punches through armors. It's effectively armor piercing. So this is going to be greater effect on him. I do think it's quite a risky move because in fact, given how close he is to the hostage, I'm going to call this a desperate move because if you miss, yeah, that's not going to be good.
I could hit the hostage. Yeah, that's definitely bad. Yeah, I agree with that.
In fact, I'm going to offer you a devil's gambit as well.
Oh,
devil's bargain. This is an armor-piercing round. This is an armor-piercing weapon. This is something that shoots through things and shoots through armor.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say, I'm going to offer you a devil's bargain that you injure the hostage. If you fail the roll, you may very well actually kill the hostage, and you can take that injure the hostage as a +1 from the over penetration as a +1 dice if you want it.
Huh. I mean, I don't like the idea of like automatically injuring the hostage. That's definitely not the preferred way to do this for me. So I'm gonna refuse that. But I will take a. I will also spend stress of my own because I don't want to injure the hostage.
Okay.
So I'll burn my own stress and I'll take the aid. And then how are we doing on gambits right now?
You should be back up to 3 because it's a new session.
All right. I think I'll take the gambit as well.
Okay.
For this moment. So then, all right. So I'm rolling scrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
Okay.
that's fine. Just as an aside, if you do roll a 6 on this, you won't be able to gain a gambit from this roll.
Except that I have I have never tell me the odds is my ability, which says that I can get a gambit on desperate rolls, and even if you spent a gambit.
Well, funny you should mention. Yep, funny about that. By all means, you get to use that ability.
Okay. So all right, but it's position desperate.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, here goes.
And
so,
you will gain an XP for this desperate roll. That goes on the attribute that scrap is under.
And what was the effect?
The effect is greater effect.
Great. Okay. All right. And then taking all 3 extra dice, and let's hope I don't kill an innocent person.
That would be no. You don't kill an innocent person.
Phew! I needed them all those dice though.
Where are you shooting? Are you shooting for the body? Are you shooting for the head?
I mean, the credits are for dead or alive, so yeah, I'm just gonna go for the head. I figure, assuming that's the clearest shot, try and just take him out in one shot.
So there's this moment where he's holding the blaster to this miner's head. The miner's and there's just a as his head vanishes. Literally, it is vaporized.
Hot damn.
And his muscle memory's there for a few moments. The body is still standing upright. The miner steps away, and then he collapses. He literally goes back like a plank, goes and lands on the ground, dead.
Whew. Cord wipes some sweat from his brow.
I single thumbs up.
Yeah, at about that point is the point when Kit comes like running out of the doctor's office and sees the whole scene, and just like looks up to record is like, nice shot.
Thanks. Cord tips his hat. I feel like he should be wearing a cowboy hat in this scene. I'm going to say Cord wearing a cowboy hat.
Yep, by all means. In fact, cowboy hats are free. You don't need to spend any load on it.
No cred for that. Excellent. I'm even going to write that in my bio right now that he wears a cowboy hat.
Okay, so that is Wessel 6 dead. Okay.
Only 5 to go.
There's a shout from down the end of the street, and you can see a group of men coming up in long flowing cloaks. They've got these wide brimmed hats, and you can see that they've got blasters out and they're approaching. Put the goddamn blasters down! Put them down! On the ground now, in the name of the law! You're bound by law! Put the blasters down! 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 And they basically come up to, there's about 6 of them, led by the guy that you were speaking to earlier. Oh, hey, hold up, boys, hold up.
Yeah, if the sheriff's there, I'll kind of like step forward and make us visible, like hands up. Don't worry, we got this.
Lads, relax. Now you all relax. I said put your blasters down. Put your goddamn blasters down. These are some of the good guys. And he walks over and looks at the body, kicks it. Who was it?
Number 6.
How can you tell?
Well, he had this tattoo.
Had? Oh, I'm sure there'll be genetic markers on them.
They're all tagged.
Any more of them around here?
That's what we're about to find out.
Boz, spread out and have a look.
Did Razor get the scent earlier?
Yes, Razor had the scent.
So we could send. We could. Do we have a sense if Razor's on the track of any others? Where is Razor right now?
Razor's up. Went into the medical office.
Oh, did Razor get hurt?
No, he was up into the doctor's office. That's basically where the clone was hiding.
Okay. This is the one that was in the doctor's office and it came out?
That's right, yes.
Okay, cool. Good boy, Razor. I go over and give Razor a scratch behind the ears.
He clicks and rubs his hand into you, and the sheriff's there. Yeah, maybe it's not as bestial as I thought. And he goes over and he goes to scratch him himself and pulls his hand back as Razor snaps at him. God damn, little thing! Calm down.
He just needs a snack, and I take out a Razor treat and give him a little bit. I'm imagining it's like a fish head or something. His favorite snack. A dried fish head, of course. I don't have a wet fish head in my pocket.
So, Boz, do you have that bounty paperwork?
You got it right here. Pull it up on like a data pad.
Pass it here. He looks down at the body and he puts his thumbprint against Wesel 6 and hands it back to you. We'll go and dig out that hole again. I should have asked you to leave it open.
Well, you might want to leave it open for a little longer. I think we got a few more to claim.
Good idea. Okay, well, I'll have my boys sweep the town. Do you want to get your little hunting pet here and have a wander around?
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So there's loads of people lining the street. All the people have come out of all the saloons and the casinos, and you can see that some of the hotels with their upper balconies, people have actually come out and are looking at what's happening down at the street itself. So I don't think you've got much opportunity for stealth at this point.
That's fair.
So what are you doing? So, Einar. Oh, sorry. Go on, Walter.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No. I was just going to say, Einar, you were front and center. You were the one that was distracting. You've retrieved your weapons. What is it about the body that strikes you as out of place?
Oh, I think there's some striking tattoos that I think I've seen somewhere before, and it's actually I think it's the tattoos from my home, my starbase. And people are not supposed to have them outside my home.
Okay, so so you can see that he's there, and as they search the body, they come across a small little. They come across a small little book, and it's written on It's written on nano paper. The paper is so fine, so thin, but it allows you to get a large book into a very small space. And it's the litany of the people you came from. And it's new. This isn't a hand-me-down. This looks to have recently been taken out of its packaging for the first time.
So I'll grab that and try to tuck it away before anyone sees it.
So remind me, what was your the station you came from like? Did you send out? They sent out missionaries, weren't they?
Yeah, well, more like explorers. They're a very isolated community, and they don't take in new people lightly. They're not really about like spreading the word. They're more like about taking in all of the universe and sort of bringing it back into that place. So uh, and the litany, I think that's sort of supposed to stay secret, really secret, within the uh, well, within the
In
space
trip.
station. It's not supposed to leave it. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are you doing?
I'm desperately trying to hide this thing from everyone else. I think OT is having a hard time processing this right now, and it's just instinct kicking in. This is not supposed to be seen by anyone else outside the station.
Okay. So, with that said, you've got all these people on the street. In fact, looking at it, we've been playing for 2 hours. I think now would be a good time for our break before we go too far into the final hour. So, is everyone okay with the 5-minute break to water and use facilities?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep.
So,
sounds good.
if we come back at 5 past the hour,
Okay.
okay, we'll be back in 5 minutes then. Okay. Okay, I'm back. And there's Einar and Eli. Walter, are you around? No, not quite yet. Now, if this was the UK, you'd probably be halfway up a ladder, given the people working there a cup of tea. I know it seems like a stereotype, but yes, that's actually what we do. Anyone comes into the house, we offer them a cuppa.
Yeah, I did offer some water.
I was going to say it's a cultural thing. We do. Any visitors at all, the first thing we normally ask is, do they want a cuppa?
Oh,
So,
hold on
put the
a second.
kettle on.
I need to.
Wow, those wrinkles are really getting there. My cat's being grumpy.
I don't know.
She wants me to feed her.
My cat was just telling me the same thing.
I switched foods that I've used, and she didn't like the old one, and the new one she just devours, so much so that she's biting my hand to get at it as I'm pouring it. So I think she can wait a few minutes longer. Okay. So while we're waiting for Walter, you're standing there in the middle of the street, in the middle of the road. And I think there's a bit of commotion down the far end. You see several similarly dressed men run out of one of the hotels down there and get onto speeder bikes. And one of them literally turns to look at you as they're getting on the bikes, and you recognize the face. For it's a face you've seen before, a face you've seen vaporized a few moments ago. And
well.
They jump onto these speeders, which are, well, in these cases, these bikes look like ostrich creatures, but with cows' mechanical ostrich creatures, but with cows' heads. And they tug the reins, and they start moving out of town.
Well, it's a good thing we got some horses then in our flashback.
Okay, so who's flashing back there? Is that you, OT?
Or I could do it.
Can we do it together?
Okay, so this would actually be because you're acquiring an asset to use in this. This would actually cost you a cred to do, because it's duplicating the effect of a downtime action in the flashback. So, with that said, would you pay 1 cred? And then, can you tell me how you went about acquiring these horses or these hover bikes or whatever it is you're using? Eli?
Oh, I think that unless you want to do it OT, yeah, did a good point.
No, it's fine. I'm pretty high on stress actually, so.
Okay, I'll take it. So I guess we kind of have a flashback that we roll into town, we talk to the sheriff, and then like Kit spots some like fancy looking speeders for rent that are like obviously kind of like the tourist trap for visitors, and it's like they look like pieces of junk, but you know they might come in handy.
Brilliant. So how is he doing that? Is he trying to talk the owners into letting you have the better ones, or because you'll have the assets no matter what.
Yeah.
What the role determines is how good they are.
Can I use a consort on that?
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect thing for using consort on.
Yeah.
So, could you roll consort then, please?
What thing? Is that risky? Or
No, this is controlled standard
okay.
because this is a downtime action.
Yep, controlled standard, no extra dice. I got a 1 and a 3.
Okay, so yep, you're quite right. These are the tourist trap ones. The ones they have on sale aren't exactly the best. They don't have particularly good engines. The overdrives in them are updating. They haven't been serviced in ages. But you have a set of speeders. Do you have to describe what they look like? Are they robotic horses? Are they hover bikes? Is it a car? Is it a carriage with a hover carriage, or
I think they're hover bikes, individual hover bikes, and they're like meant to look really tricked out. Like they've got like flames on the side and they're all painted up really good, but they're just like hugs of junk when you get down to it.
excellent? Okay, so you have those hover bikes. So hop aboard
Mm-hmm.
and
pursue.
yes. So as it stands, they have quite a bit of a lead on you, and they have substantially better bikes than you, but they don't seem to be quite really trained in how they're used. So you notice that they don't appear to be confident in using them. So at this point, I'm actually going to introduce a ship's wheel because they're heading back to their base. Where there's 3 of them, they're heading back to their base. If you don't catch them before the wheel fills up, they will get back there, and you'll have to face all of them at once. So I will add a wheel for. I'll add a 4-segment wheel. Oh, and he says add in far too many. There we go. Okay, so there's a fleeing clone wheel on there now. That's 4 segments. And like I say, as that fills up, if that fills up before the encounter's over, they will get back to the base, and any remaining Wesel clones, you'll have to face them all at that point. So what are people doing? You've got these speeders, you're chasing after them. they're very much sticking to the roads, and these are winding roads through these quite dense valleys. So they it's more like a. You know the Death Star run, where you're going through a trench. These roads seem like they're actually cut into trenches. So you've got the canyon walls at the side as you're going through. So there's points where it gets closer, the points where it opens out. You go over a few bridges over canyons as you go through. What are you doing? Are you just chasing them? Are you trying to slow them down? Are you trying to overtake them? Or Eli? Einar. What are you doing at this point?
So I'm imagining Kit's the better pilot, right? So if we're going to try any overtaking, that's her job. I'm looking for some point in these trenches where there's like an overhang or something like that, and I'm going to take out a detonation launcher, and I'm going to try to set up a landslide of some sort.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to say that the canyon walls around here are look to be quite fragile. So I'm going to say this is desperate. But I'm going to say this is a standard effect as well, because people are moving so quickly. So if something goes wrong, it could be bad for you guys as well, because you've just set up an obstacle in your way. So can you roll the desperate standard, but also gain an experience for rolling a desperate roll? Now, is anyone assisting you?
Kid?
Yeah, I'll assist. That I think that I'm kind of like coming in to try to overtake them, and you kind of like showed me with hand signals what side you're going to cause the landslide on, so I'm going to try to like corral them over there.
Okay, so you're coming in, and they're sat in the saddles. So you can see they're turning and they're firing the blaster pistols blind. Shots are coming in left, right, and center, but getting nowhere really near you because they can't aim their shots. So, OT, can you roll that? Can you roll that dice and tell me what you get? And don't forget, you get +1.
Do I get one effect lower because of my wound? Is that why it says less effect?
No. Once you filled up both those boxes, you
okay.
get that.
Yeah, okay. I see. So that was a standard effect, right?
That was. But can I just check something? Your detonator launcher.
Yep.
Just give me 2 seconds. So looking at the detonator launcher. No, that's a normal detonator launcher. You see where it says a fine blaster pistol or a fine martial arts style? You see where it says fine?
Yep.
That basically increases your effect by 1.
Ah, okay.
Because the better tools you have means you have a higher effect as a result.
I see. So 1 bonus die.
One bonus die.
Yep. 2, 3, 6.
Oh, you got a 6. Okay. So you fire it. There's a thump. And is this a grenade launcher? Is this a rocket launcher? Is this effectively a high energy directed weapon? What does this look like?
Yeah, maybe it's I think it looks like an RPG. But it fires a sort of greenish beam. So there's like a cloud of green dust behind it, and just a straight massive beam out the front.
Okay. This beam of green energy goes smashing into the canyon wall, and literally it smashes into the canyon wall. There's a physical impact as it goes in, and rocks go flying everywhere. It's all sorts of dust goes flying into the air. There's the clones are fleeing through this, and they look up and they start cheering to themselves. You see 2 of them fist bump as they go through because you missed, and they're really happy about that. And then there's that creak. And they look up, and there's this noise as this entire stalactite, the stacked rocks that are up against the plains, falls. And were you trying to land on top of them, or were you trying to actually block the road?
Block the road was more.
Okay. So it falls and blocks the road, and you can see them pull up their mounts as they come forward, and the mounts, the feet dig into the floor, and there's that whole moment where there's these sparks flying from it as they dig in their claws and try and stop themselves, and they stop just short, and they turn and look around at you, and they get down off their steeds, and you can see them standing behind the animals, lining up over the top, waiting for you guys. But you've stopped them fleeing. So I'll get rid of that wheel. And Cord. So there's these 3 clones that were fleeing on effectively speeder bikes,
Yeah.
ostrich style creatures, but with mechanical ostrich style creatures, but with cow heads.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
And the road that you've been chasing them through these canyon roads, and OT's taken out his detonator launcher and basically blown up one of the canyon walls and basically blocked the canyon ahead of you.
Nice.
And so they've jumped down off their steeds. They're standing behind these metal animals, lining their weapons up over the top and waiting for you guys now. What do you say?
Oh, okay. So now they're gonna now they're laying in wait for us though. They've got some cover.
So they've got some cover, but they can't get away. So the wheel for them fleeing is taken off the board.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause
And how many of them are there? There's 3 of them, you said.
There's 3 of them, yes.
All right. Well, huh. Damn. So we gotta flesh them out or something then.
Yeah. So they're standing there, and as you're coming in, they start opening fire. But what action are you taking?
Interesting question. So now they had their ostriches with them. Is that right?
That's right, and they're currently standing behind them. They're basically
They're-
using.
Are they using their ostriches for cover then?
They're using their ostriches for cover. Yes.
All right. So, okay. So then they don't have a whole lot of cover. So we could
No,
maybe.
they don't. They're on a open road, and basically it's like a trench, but with a road through the middle of it. And there's a huge stacked rock that got blown up and basically collapsed in the way. So they've got no way of getting out. The only way they have of getting out of this now dead end canyon is going back the way they came through you guys.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it occurred to me for a moment I could maybe try and hack their ostriches to get their ostriches to move out of the way, but that's probably overkill. We probably could just blast them and their ostriches out of the water is another simpler way to do it, I suppose. Let's see. I mean, I've already got a heavy blaster on me.
That's right. And that heavy blaster is armor piercing, so if you wanted to actually try and shoot through the ostriches, it would not have a reduced effect.
Okay. And I guess the only downside is that they can presumably also fire at us, right? It looks like they probably have blasters, I'm guessing.
They are firing you at the moment.
All right.
Because of how the system works, I don't actually engage any actions. Whatever happens to you is as a complication based off your own actions and your own dice roll. So I can't just walk up to you and shoot you.
Okay. So so then in that case, I feel like getting cover is going to be the prudent thing to do. But we also don't want them to get away because they might hide behind the rubble. Yeah, maybe we should just do the shootout. Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna get off my mechanical horse and kind of level my heavy blaster on my knee and just start opening fire.
Okay, so that sounds like scrap to me. Is that how you're reading it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be.
So for the cover, I would normally say that you're at minimum effect, but you're using a heavy blaster, so you'll be able to shoot through at standard effect. I do think this is risky because they're shooting back.
Yeah, sounds like it. Okay. So, and let me just ask my companions, what do we normally do in this kind of a situation? Are you 2 of you also planning to just open fire? Should we make this maybe a group? Would it make sense for this to be a group action of for just a shootout kind of thing? How are we looking at this as a group?
I mean, I think that Kit owns a blaster but isn't super great with it, so I can just give you some covering fire and you can actually take him down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that Oren is our real marksman. So Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe Oren could lead a just like a group action for a shootout at the OK Corral. Does that sound right?
Sounds good.
Okay. So how are you doing that? Are you doing that through instruction? Is that a command thing? Is that actually assessing the tactical situation and going on, or is it just brute force and calling targets for people using scrap, or how do you envision this this going ahead?
So I'm imagining well, OT is not much of a talker and not really much of a leader. She's more like just plunge right into the situation, frantically wave. So so it's more of a I try to shoot and hit my targets and hope the others do their own thing.
Okay, so that sounds like scrap then. What weapon are you using? Are you using your fine blaster pistol? Or you that you've already marked your Krieger?
I think my Krieger is feeling thirsty.
Because you've still got your detonator launcher. It's not a one-use item.
No, but I think I'll save the the big explosions for later.
Okay, so you'll be able to treat this as a greater effect then, rather than standard effect. I would like everyone to roll scrap, please. And can you let me know if you if you roll a 1, 2, or 3?
Is it risky?
I would say that at this point, with them waiting for you, this is going to be desperate. So
Okay.
gain another XP.
And can each of us choose to spend like one stress to get an extra die for a group roll, or no?
No, because this is a group roll. You need to push yourself on your individual roll. You can't really. Your support for your for the other characters comes from the dice that you contribute. So
yeah, that makes sense.
What you do is you get to keep the highest die. You get to choose the highest dice from everyone. But if two people roll 6s, then if one person rolls a 6 and another person rolls a 6, that classes as a critical success. So it gives you a much higher chance of actually getting that high level success.
So are we greater effect?
This is greater effect, yes.
All right.
Can we spend gambits?
If you want to spend gambits, yes.
All right. Kit's got a 4.
Okay.
Okay. So all right. So we cannot push ourselves, but we can spend. Could we just spend as many gambits as we have, like one for each of us, or how does that work?
You can roll one each if you want.
Or maybe it just makes sense for just to avoid confusion. Maybe Oren should roll a gambit, and then the rest of us. Although the others of us, like if the others of us lose, then Oren takes a stress for each one of us that doesn't make a success. Is that right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay, a success being a 4 or higher, right?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. So I get 1 die normally. So what do you think, Oren? Should I roll a gambit?
They reset at the end of session, right? So we have.
Yep, that's right.
Might as well.
Gambits reset at the end of the job.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go ahead and roll a gambit too then. All right. So I got desperate. I got effect greater. I'm gonna add 1 bonus die for a gambit. Oh shit! I only rolled a 3.
Okay. So in which case, OT, please take a stress for that.
Okay.
So what did everyone roll?
Well, Oren got a 6.
Okay.
I got a 4.
I have a 5 and a 6 and a 1.
Okay. So you have a 5, a 6, and a 1. You have a 4, and you've got a 3 as your highest roll. Was that right, Walter?
Yeah. I got a 3 for Cord.
Okay. So Einar, that was 1 stress, but you get a 6, and as this is greater effect, none of you actually take any take any downsides from this. There's no complications from this. You've got a full success. So they're standing there, and as you're standing there, there's that you know that epic moment from Tombstone, where the sheriff walks in, and there's that moment where the shooting stops and everyone's ready, and the blasters come out, and it's real quick cuts. It's a case of where there's shooting going on, people scrambling down. One of the ostrich cows gets hit and goes down. People are hiding behind it, firing. Another one gets hit up, and it goes down on top of the clone itself. The clone lets out a huge scream, and within seconds, the dust clears, and you're all standing there. And 2 of the 3 clones are dead. The last one is there with the ostrich crushing, with this mechanical beast that he was riding, crushing his lower body, and you can see blood coming up through his mouth, and he's coughing. Curse you. Curse you. The Lord of Light curse you.
So, tell me, friend. I look. Can I see like numbers on any of their necks?
Yes, you can. The numbers on their necks are 4 and 7.
The 2 dead ones.
The 2 dead ones, and this is number 5.
Okay. I say. So tell me, number 5. Where's number not? Where can we find the original?
You will never find the creator. Oh, he is guarded by the angels.
Oh yeah, tell me about these. Tell me about these angels.
He is guarded by the Lord of Light.
The Lord of Light. Do I know what he's referring to?
Nope. Yeah, I don't think you've ever heard of this before. Someone here might have. OT.
Yeah. So, is this directly from the Litanies?
This is directly from the Litanies.
So I I walk up to the one who's saying this, and just squat down with my knee on this throat, and just ask, you are not worthy of the Lord of Light.
I am made. And how hard are you pressing? Are you stopping him talking?
I'm I'll let up just a little bit to hear what he's saying.
I am made in his image.
I just press down when I hear this. This is
And
blasphemy.
There's a crack. His eyes roll back in his head. There's a spurt of blood. And he sags and is gone. Number 5 is not alive.
Another clone dead. Never mind. Is probably insane.
So yeah, you gonna tell us about that, OT?
As I said, it's probably insane. It's just some gibberish.
Well, Court's going to let it go at that, because Court knows not to ask too many questions when someone doesn't want to talk about their their personal business.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with the mission, sounds good to me.
Okay. So you're standing there with these bodies. You're able to get the bits you need to actually verify the kills. You can throw them over the back of the hoverbikes you have. But there's still one of them on that list that's not accounted for.
It's true. You got to get number 2.
Yeah. So now, did we ever see? We only saw these 3. We still have no idea where 2 is at all.
Nope, you don't have any idea. But you know they were fleeing down this road.
And we've got Razor.
Yeah, there's a chittering squawk from overhead, and he actually lands upon the carcass of one of the dead ostrich cows. I need to come up with a better name for them because ostrich cow just sounds wrong. He sits there and he starts picking at it, and you think they're testing it, and as soon as he realizes it's metal, he's not interested. He looks to you guys and comes over. And he takes to the sky.
Good boy, Razor.
And you see, he goes beyond the actual roadblock, beyond this landslide. Now, unlike the others, you're on hover bikes. Which means,
we are. Okay. I thought we were on mechanical horses, but we have hover bikes.
No,
Nice.
we're on hover bikes. I checked these.
Okay.
They are shitty tourist trap hover bikes.
Nice.
So you at least will be able to attempt to jump this if you want.
Oh, do we have to make a roll to jump it? That sounds.
You're gonna have to make a roll to jump it to get over it.
I'll take those on.
Of course. I'm down.
Okay.
Maybe that's a group action for.
That was just what I was thinking as well. So Eli, I think Kit's the perfect person to actually to lead this.
Oh, I think so indeed. So yeah, no, I think I'll do this.
So I think this is going to be risky standard.
Okay.
So there's not going to be catastrophic risks involved, but if something does go wrong, something can go wrong.
Sounds good. And no one else has any helm, right?
Does anyone else know how to drive a vehicle or fly?
Yeah, I have one in helm.
Okay.
I have no helm.
All right. So I guess my these are probably fine without a gambit. I'll just take some stress. It's not a problem.
Okay. So in which case then, can everyone roll helm, please?
Right. Ooh, I'm gonna roll home with 0 dice. That'll be fun.
Yep. These 2 dice take the lowest.
All right. This is what position is this?
This is risky standard.
Oh no, I could break my neck. All right.
All right. Well, I got a 5 and a 6.
Oh, 2 6s.
Nope. It's because Cord has to take the lower one.
I got a 4 though. It still works.
Oh yes. So
So we
At least I made it.
yeah,
we don't die.
I barely made it, but I made it.
so you make it, and because Kit got a 6, you take that run up. You put full power to the engines, put full power to the grav motors. There's a burst of smoke that comes out of these things as you try and put them up to full power. But it lifts you up, it lifts you over, and you're down the other side. And I think there's that moment where you come down, and because these are hover bikes, it takes the engine a few moments to rev up again. So you scrape the back of them as you come down, and there's a little torrent of sparks as you go. But yeah, you're over and you're fine. And you can see Razor flying, and you can see him circling. Sorry, you can see them circling just on the horizon. So you get there, and it's off one of the side roads from this main road. You wind up through it. It becomes narrower and narrower and narrower. And as you get there, you get to what looks to be a mine head. And there's a single one of these ostrich creatures outside. And there's no one else around.
Oh, it looks like we found their hideout.
And as you get there, there's this. You can feel the pressure changing, and you look up, and you can see there's a storm front coming in. There's flashes of lightning, and the air it feels ionized. There's that tickling of all your hairs standing on end. Razor knows what's happening and is down with you. It's trying to get into the mine head itself and to try and find shelter.
Oh, it's a lightning storm, the kind
Yes.
that makes the new boomtowns.
That's right, yes.
Well, then we better get in that mine.
Okay.
Seems like.
As you enter the mine is lit. Its main shaft goes down and comes to an elevator. And this place has power. Despite the fact there was no lights outside, underground, you can see that the generator running this place is running. And it's got this long elevator that drops down into the earth. What are people doing?
Anyone feeling good at being sneaky? Want to scout ahead, see if we can take them off guard?
I think that's one of the things I do well. I have one skulk.
Okay, so are you taking the elevator down?
I feel like it's a dead giveaway that someone's going to see us coming if I just start moving down the elevator, but I'm not sure what else to do.
Well, the elevator does have it's a maglev elevator, but as you look onto it, there is a service ladder that goes down the side. So if you can get into the shaft itself, you will be able to climb down without using the elevator.
All right. Yeah, I guess I get on the ladder and see if I can. So, I mean, yeah, does it seem like taking the ladder is going to be less attention than taking the elevator? I mean, because I can imagine the ladder being creaky and sending bits of dust and dirt falling down, and it might actually make more sense to take the mag elevator.
Okay. So yeah, these mines spring up quickly. So the equipment here is actually quite fresh, quite new. That hasn't been here a long time.
Okay.
So as you look at the ladder itself, the ladder is actually quite solid.
Okay.
It's not brand new. It looks like it's been brought in from elsewhere and has been disassembled and reassembled here. But it doesn't look like it'll give way. It doesn't look like it'll have all that whole creaky structure.
Okay, yeah. If I think I can sneak down on the ladder, then I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll try a skulk to get down the ladder.
So can you roll skulk then, please?
Okay. So I am really worried about being found out and stuck halfway down the ladder when I am found out. So I'm going to burn 2 stress to push myself here.
Okay.
All right. And then let's see. So is this what, risky standard?
This is risky standard, yes.
All right. Risky standard. I might as well burn a gambit as well, right? Because we're running out of time.
Yep, we've got 15 minutes left.
And what do we got? 2 gambits to go?
I believe so, yes.
I think it might just be 1.
Oh, okay. What do you guys think? Should I burn this last gambit to try and get a good sneak?
Do it.
Do it? All right, here we go. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should save it, but I'm going to save it. I have a feeling we're going to need one more after this because this is only to get me down there. All right, so here goes. Oh, well, I got a 4.
Okay, so as you're going down, you make your way down.
Oh wait, I should have spent the gambit because I generate a new one on a risky roll anyway, as long as I make a 6.
Okay.
Too late for that. Next time.
Okay.
I learned my lesson.
So as you're climbing down, you're moving down. You make your way down the ladder, and you're being quite stealthy, quite sneaky, and you come down, and your hand slips, and you're there holding you're there holding yourself on the ladder itself, but you swing as you swing round, your hand actually catches the meshwork, and it makes a noise as you strike it.
Mhm.
Would you like to resist that complication?
Is it the noise or is it the harm that I take?
If you don't take any harm, this is purely the noise.
Okay. Because I'm thinking my skulk roll works, so I'm thinking there'd be like a different complication than not being sneaky. But I will.
Sorry, you got a 4, didn't you?
Yeah. Is that not a success?
That's a partial success.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're quite right. I've addressed that entirely wrong. Let me have a think of that.
Like, for example, like if I successfully make it down, but I hurt myself on the way or something, or I lose something.
Yep, no, you're quite right. I've not framed that properly. So yeah, as you slip, you crack your hand, and I'm going to say a level 1 harm of a broken finger.
Ah, all right. Okay, I'm gonna take that because yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and take a broken finger.
Okay. So wincing, grimacing, you get to the bottom, and as you look out of the shaft, it's got a mesh grate, but it's also got a service section that goes under that allows people to get into the actual the main generator and the main part of the lift, which is at the bottom. And you get into the room, and there's this large cavernous room. In fact, as you look around, there's these crystal deposits everywhere, but they're dull. They don't seem to have the life and the sparkle that they'd have over other parts of the planet. It's almost as if this place has been mined out of all the high energy crystals themselves. But
Okay, so it's a dead mine.
So they're in the middle of the room. There's seems to be a small camp setup. There's the small prefab, basically small prefab shelters, canvas shelters, and you can see a light on in one of them, and the light flashes and flickers and comes back on.
Okay, so I'm thinking, is there some place that I can hide and take cover?
Oh yes, there's all these crystals that have basically been smashed and extracted. There's debris everywhere. There's discarded mining equipment everywhere. You can even hop into a mine cart if you wanted.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll hop into a mine cart and and maybe so I can like peek over the edge to keep watch with my gun at the ready. And then I think I have like a signal set up, like maybe on my communicator I can send a little Morse flashing light up to my buddies, which will be the signal for them to do what they're going to do, and I'll just be there like trying to ambush this fellow when he comes out.
Okay. So the people at the top, what are you doing?
Maybe just take the elevator together.
Okay.
That sounds good.
You step into the elevator, you punch down. There's a as the maglev powers up, and a as it makes its way down. Cord, down the bottom, this thing is making a racket. You made exactly the right choice to come down by the actual lift itself. Sorry, the ladder itself. And as this thing's making a racket, you can see a figure comes to the door of the prefab tent and looks out. You can't really make them out because the light is behind them, backlighting them.
Mm-hmm.
But they look at the lift itself. And as the lift comes down into view, because it's got an open cage with mesh on the sides, as it comes down and it's part the way down, it sees the figures in it and recognizes they are not who they were expecting. And it steps back into its tent. and comes out a few seconds later with a large blaster.
I shoot him as soon as I see him emerge with his blaster.
Okay. So this is going to be a desperate roll because the blaster he's brought out is a heavy blaster. And he's actually shooting at the lift as it's coming down.
Okay.
So,
Now I'll spend that gambit.
Okay.
So let's see. So that'll be, and I'm also going to push myself.
Okay. Remind me, your pistol is a fine pistol, isn't it?
Well, I had a heavy blaster.
Oh, that's fine. You're using the heavy blaster. That's not a problem at all.
Okay.
So yeah. So can you make the? I think that's a scrap roll.
Yeah, scrap, desperate, standard effect
I think it's going to be greater effect.
with the heavy blaster. Okay.
Yep. And you have surprise on him. So.
And then I'm pushing myself, and I'm going to spend that gambit. So I got 2 extra dice.
Okay.
And here goes. Oh, crit!
Okay. He lifts up the blaster. You hear as it powers up, and you shoot, and you hit him. Well, you think you hit him. You don't actually hit him himself. You catch the blaster's power pack, and there's a huge explosion. There's coruscated energy that flies over the entire place. He's thrown a good 30 meters back, at least in parts, because parts go over here, parts go over there, parts go over there. The entire front of the tent collapses. In fact, the tent, I'm going to say, is actually blown off, and is blown away and basically ripped to shreds. And as the light fades, you can see what was within the tent itself. There is a body on a table and a cylinder about the size of a human, hooked up to various machines. Wezol is dead. The Wezol clone, Wezol 2, is dead.
And and we found the cloning machine itself.
Yes.
Wow. Nice work. Good job, gang. And there's sounds like there's Wezol 8 is still being made.
So is anyone going to have a look at the actual machine itself? Or look at the scene?
Wander up and take a gander.
Okay. So you can see that there's this body on the table. He's dead. This looks to be the original Wezol. There's no tattoo on him. There's no markings. But he is dead. But he's laid out. You know, have you ever seen the sarcophagus of the kings and queens and knights that you get in Europe, where they literally laid out in state, and there's the death sculpture on top? He's laid out like that, and you can see little scripts of text, little strips of it have been placed on his body, almost reverentially.
What do they say?
You read them, and most of it seems gibberish to you. But there is one plain speak section that goes over his eyes. We were made in the image of the Lord of Light, and through him we will find immortality. He will come again through us and through his prophet, who shall remake the world in his image.
I just shoot them, shoot the body. just shoot away all the little bits of scripture. I just want to turn everything to ash.
Okay. You demolish this place. And I think we're going to hard frame that at the moment. So congratulations, you got all the clones. That was a successful job. And we will go through downtime at the start of the next session. But I would like to give you everyone an epilogue scene coming out of this. So, Walter, how do you want to close the session?
Wow. I mean, that was super success. I'm actually, I think that Cord is kind of impressed at all that he did, because he's not, doesn't think of himself as a super great shot. So he's feeling pretty happy that his shooting went as well as it did, for the most part.
Brilliant. And Kit, how you? What's your epilogue? How do we see you coming out at the end of this before the credits roll?
I think that we see Kit, like, sunglasses on her head, smile ear to ear, coming up to Triv, like, flashing some creds at him.
Excellent. And OT, you have the final say. What do we see of OT as the credits roll?
So OT is inside the ship, inside her own room, and she is on her knees with her own litanies, but they're all inside her mind, of course, because writing them down and bringing them out into the world, that's blasphemy. And she recites the litany of the dream. The outside is a dream. The universe is one inside, under the light of the Lord, and all belongs inside the one, inside the Lord of light. The universe is one inside. The outside is a dream. And she makes the sign of the event horizon, which is the name of her society, religion, cult, whatever.
Brilliant. I think there's that moment where the music strikes up as you do that, and then it just cuts to black, and then the credits come up in silence, and that's the end of the episode. So I'm gonna stop the recording here.